Hello music lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Caeser Pink.
Let your mama down. Let your mama down. Let your mama down. Baby, please.
Today we're here with my guest, Ed Kenepp.
Hey, buddy.
And we're going to listen to a song by Anno. But before we get started, all the proceeds from this channel are donated to the Arete Living Arts Foundation. It's a arts nonprofit. Our mission is to create art and support artists whose work inspires personal, political, or spiritual awakening. So please like and subscribe. That really helps us build our channel. If you want to do more, you can join our Patreon page or make a tax-deductible donation via PayPal. It's all in the description below. Now, Ed and I kind of go way back, but he was just a few years older than me. Now, when I was a kid, like 13, I used to go see all of his bands play. And one of the reasons I liked Ed was that he dared to look a little more glam than most of the musicians. I remember high-heeled shoes with rainbow-colored socks.
That's correct. But then my pant legs rolled up to my knees.
Yeah, and kind of peg leg pants.
Yeah.
And the first band I saw you in was at a Battle of the Bands at the Youth Fair, Captain Guts.
Captain Guts, baby.
And the singer, through some kind of fit, was laying down on stage.
That would be Tim McCartney.
Yeah. And I always loved the theatrical side of things. And but as I grew older, one of the things I liked about Ed was, and we come from a very small conservative town, a lot of great musicians, but Ed was the funkiest. He could play rock, but he could play funk the most authentic. I mean, everybody could play a little funky groove, but Ed did it authentically.
That's right, baby. The Pinocchio theory. You can't fake the funk or your nose got to grow.
Yeah. Is that...
That's Bootsy.
Oh, Bootsy. But, they had... What? Sir Nose?
Sir Nose devoid of funk.
Yeah. Well, I got a picture of myself with Sir Nose. And one time we got to go back and hang with all those guys.
Yeah.
Heather got a little drunk and started getting flirty with Sir Nose.
Of course.
Heather being my wife.
Of course, Heather. And you're going to flirt with Sir Nose. Who are you going to flirt with?
It was very interesting because every time, you have all these people back there and, guys in diapers and stuff. And every time a song would end, it was like, and some people would be like, when the song started, nothing, the other would be like, I gotta get up there. So, for each song, certain people had to come and go off the stage.
Oh, wow.
But
where was this?
BB King's. We got, Heather was breastfeeding. So, we went in and hung out with George, and he offered a little smoke. She couldn't take it because it was breastfeeding. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But a little known fact, I had a stroke the week before.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not going to miss P-Funk. Come on.
No.
But another weird thing is, I just, a month ago, I don't know what I paid, $80 to Bootsy, for Bootsy to go, make a video that says,
"Yeah, Baba, Bootsy Collins here, and Caeser Pink feels the funk."
and that's worth $1 million to me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen some of those Bootsy things, and I thought, this must be like a paid advertisement.
Yeah, there's a website you can go to and pick on all these people. But
I think, who would I get to do me? I have to think about that.
Todd Rundgren?
Todd, maybe? That would be excellent.
But, to go, let me ask you a few questions.
Please, let's talk about me.
Of course. Now, when you what age did you pick up the guitar?
I started out as a drummer. I wanted to be a drummer in the worst way, and I got my wish because I kept getting kicked out of bands.
Oh, wow.
Right? Bands that I started, right? So it's weird because I would I would go down to the basement and I would practice the drums really hard, and then I'd go upstairs and pick up my dad's guitar just to relax, you know, and I found myself just really taken to it. And then,
So what age are we talking?
I'm probably 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because when I was 16 and I got my license, let me think, 1972 was the flood, correct?
Yeah, 72, 73 in there.
Because that was the year I turned 16, I believe. I can't do math this quickly anymore. But my dad got flood money.
Oh, wow.
And with the flood money, he made a deal with me. If I cut my hair off, he would buy me a guitar and amp that I wanted from Frank's, or not Frank's, but what's the other?
Kaufman?
Kaufman's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bought it off of Greg Hughes.
Oh, he was my drum teacher.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We can't be using all this shit, right?
So I remember you playing a flying V a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, I got it was an off-brand. I can't remember it, but somebody recently told me that they had that guitar, and I can't remember who it is now. But yeah, it was a red Flying V. But my first guitar was the Sakova brand, the Les Paul,
Huh.
and
Now, the band I used to go see at the school dances all the time was Vicious.
Vicious, correct.
And I saw you guys once warm up for somebody at the Chief Logan Auditorium. And Tim comes up to the mic and says, "I'm so sapped, my underwear are jumping."
Yeah, that sounds like Jeff.
But that certainly stuck in my mind. So,
I mean, we used to get. Do you remember the Starfucker incident? We were playing the Lewistown down under, what's that little cafeteria pit?
oh yeah, the Lewistown cafeteria.
The pit. And it's the first time that we had a really good PA system. So we're doing Starfucker from
Yeah.
Rolling Stones. And McCartney is just going, Starfucker, 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 Starfucker. And I'm looking up into the audience, and I see my homeroom teacher, Mr. Barger. Remember Bill Barger?
I didn't go to that school.
Oh, I'm sorry. Heavyset guy, really cool, but he's looking, and there's a lady just like right in his ear. And it's turned out to be like one of the parental chaperones.
Yeah.
And he comes down and he stops us, you know, and he was like, "What the hell is going on?" And McCartney was like trying to explain to him, and I'm watching this, and I walk over to Mr. Barger and I say, "Hey man, we don't write them, we just play them."
Oh my God.
And they shut us down right there.
I actually saw you there quite a few times.
Really?
Yeah. And then in the 80s, there was, what was the band I remember hearing that you guys were doing Elephant Talk, and I thought that was the coolest thing. What band was that?
Okay, that would have been Too Normal. Wow,
Too Normal, yeah.
really pressing me hard now. Yeah. And we used to do, there was another one that was just like, it's impossible, because we were three-piece band.
Yeah.
I would play guitar half the night and bass the other half of the night. And Johnny X on keyboards, he would play keyboards and bass.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So me, Johnny, and Joe Rocco, and we did I Am the Walrus.
Oh my God.
And and I was like, how are we ever going to pull this off? But we did it, and he had the samples, you know, it was
Oh,
back when there was
really?
sampling, was
Yeah.
just, so he had all the real samples.
Oh, that's great.
And it was just awesome. That was the 80s, yeah.
And lately you've got into some filmmaking. Can you talk a little about that?
Well, yeah, sure.
What was the first series?
The first series was Woodshed with Ed.
Oh, I'm thinking of the one that was like the story of the band getting back together.
Yeah, that was kind of like my attempt at a little sitcom. I wanted to make a sitcom. First of all, let me just take a minute to explain why I did that, okay? Because I came up with this idea about a bunch of old guys who were retired, and they want to put the band back together, and then as soon as I retire, my wife leaves me, right? And so I figured that she leaves me because I'm boring.
Then you're talking about your character, not
Yes. This is the story premise. And she leaves me because I'm boring, and then I figured that, when we met, I was playing in a band, so I figured if we got the band back together, she would come back to me and she would see me in a whole new light. And so I thought, if we write this series, that it would just be so much fun to have all my friends just sitting in a room, writing this comedy and just laughing and having so much fun while we're writing it. And then we get to film it, and then we get, mistakes and just trying to make each other laugh. And I just thought, what a joyous way to spend our old age, just making each other laugh. And I just thought, well, how can this fail, right? Everybody will just jump at the opportunity, and I had to beg people to come and do this, and it would take literally, it took 10 months to shoot a half-an-hour episode.
Oh my gosh.
Because everybody was busy and playing, or, everybody had lives except for me, I guess.
Now, seems like I saw 3 or 4 episodes. I don't know if they were part of a half hour or a half hour.
I just looked it up. Because I was thinking about one of my many failures, and I like to go back over my years of failures and where I went wrong, I guess. I don't know why I do it.
Well, I have a thing I say, I've had so many failures that I've built a great resume.
Yes, that's perfect. Well, and so what I realized was that I got this idea, and I just started writing, because I'd never written anything other than a 3-minute song, right? So I just started writing, and before I know it, I had 13 episodes.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I had this whole story arc, and I was ready to go, and I just thought, well, this will be great, because, the cast can all come together, and we could, rewrite these and cut them and make them better, Rick. Because I'm just flowing, like coffee and cigarettes, I'm just boom, I'm on a rush, and I just couldn't stop. So we started filming, and everybody was interested at first, but like I said, life got in the way,
And they see that it's actually work.
It is work. It's hard work, and I managed to do 3 episodes. I think the first 2 episodes were 15 minutes each, so I put them together as the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And I did the second episode, and we started writing a 3rd episode. I say writing because as things happened and people dropped out, I had to kind of go back and start rewriting. And
Yeah, I watched a few of them, and then I never saw how's the story end? I was engaged.
I know.
But one thing, bounce around a little, one thing you said about how it just flowed. Mm-hmm. Now, you're a songwriter. Did it happen, songwriting flow like that for you?
Yeah. Because as you know, when you're writing songs, sometimes you have to sit down and just kind of force it out, stick your finger down your throat to get it to flow. And sorry about that. That's kind of awful.
For myself, I think the ones that flow are so much better.
So much better.
And I've even gotten to be if I could work too hard, it's not a good idea.
I know. I will do the same thing. Every once in a while, I'll sit down and because, I'm supposing that you have the same problem that I do. When it flows, and then when you dry up, you don't know if it's ever going to come back, and you start to panic.
I'm lucky I don't have that much.
Oh, really? Oh, because it happens to me a lot. It's like the first 3 months of the year can sometimes just be gangbusters, and then the rest.
Well,
of
the
year.
other trick I have is if you say I'm songwriting and it's not happening, I move to a different medium. I go, whether it's paint, and that seems to loosen things up.
See, that's the good thing about being a Renaissance man. I only have the one thing. And so, yeah.
Well, I think my favorite song that I've ever written, woke up, for some reason, my mattress was on the floor. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I have like 2 or 4 lines. I'm like, that's pretty good. I'll try to remember that in the morning. Go back to sleep, wake up again, a couple more lines. I'm pretty good. Wake up a third time, and I'm like, I better get up and write this down. I went out to the kitchen, and it flowed like all this stuff. Next morning, I had to get up and first say, what is this? Because I had no idea, and then kind of put it into an order that it's still pretty abstract, but it's my favorite lyric I wrote, I think.
Really?
And it's inspired by, have you ever heard Dylan's Time Out of Mind, or
I know very little Dylan, so it would have to have been like one of the hits.
yeah, no, this was like
Like a deep cut.
late 90s, and then the second album, I can't remember what it's called, Love Theft or something, came out on the day they struck the towers. But he kind of invented a new lyric style, and for some reason that lyric style just,
Really?
I knew that style. And I've written a few songs in that style, and they're like, how do you describe it? It's almost like you have a lot of different like little abstract, like 4 lines about this or this feeling, and they don't work linear, but they bring together a state of mind like, oh, we see where this guy's at, what he's doing.
Okay.
And
You're gonna have to give me some of that stuff. I'm gonna want to look into that because that's.
well,
I've been meaning to kind of get familiar with Dylan just recently because they're making all the movies about him and stuff, and I kind of want to know what he's about. I saw one documentary. The one where he paints his face, the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, and that documentary, though, wasn't that a complete, like it was something he did that was complete nonsense?
No, this was actually, they were filming the live show. And
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was complete nonsense.
Well, there was one he made about that a few years ago, but like the story, like it was all just completely a fraud that he made up as a joke.
Well, that's excellent. I think Weird Al Yankovic did that too, didn't he? He did his life story, and it was like completely made up. And I think he had like some famous actor that was in I don't know those what are those movies about shit? I knew I was going to do this grandpa shit, right? Where I can't remember anything. Anyhow, he had a famous actor play him, and it was like him and Madonna were boyfriend and girlfriend, and it's just like completely rewrote history.
Sounds fun. Well, Dylan actually did that because he was like from Nebraska or some shit.
I didn't know that.
And he's a teenager. He just came out to New York City with no money, and he got signed by a manager, and the manager's like, okay, write down your bio for your promo stuff. And he just like makes up all this shit. Like, I traveled with the circus, and One-Eyed Jim taught me a few chords. And people just believe that for a long time. And people still argue about like, oh, it was so wrong that he did that. And it's just like,
Come on. Late no.
But Dylan, he definitely has, like when he came out, it was brilliant. Like there are lyrics that he wrote. Like even like one, like, how does it take for a man? Like those lyrics, I'm like, what was going on in your head? Like you have to get to a space to write that. It's just, it's just like, if I could just do that.
Yeah, to write a line like the answer is blown in the wind, to me is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. But then he had like some mediocre stuff throughout the years. But then, he just had these 2 albums where it was like he came back and it spoke to me. Like I always liked Dylan, but this was, you know what it is? You know how sometimes music can help your identity as certain, when you're young, you're a punk, that speaks for me.
Yeah.
And I was 30 when this came out, and it's just like, this is where I'm at. And it was like, it was kind of like Loser, but it was so strong. It was like, what's a line like? My pockets are full and I'm spending every dime. You know what I mean? It was like this guy's going down, but he's like enjoying it so much, and it was like a true heartbreak album for him too, and that's where I was at too. And but those two albums to me are brilliant.
Isn't it great? I mean, I can't think of a better feeling than finding some artist who really, like, you can really connect with, where you know exactly what he means and what he feels. And that is so rare for me anymore. I can't find anything that I like.
Well, in a few minutes I want to ask you another question, but I am at a place right now where I'm listening to more new music than I ever had, and I am so happy and so excited.
Yeah.
It brings so much joy to my life. But anyways, I want to talk about...
But I have to ask you one quick question. Do you ever look back at your catalog of music and like something that you wrote maybe 30 years ago and go, holy shit, did I write that? I could never write anything like that now. Have you done that?
Or for me, it'll be like, oh, I remember who I was then.
Oh,
you know,
that's cool. Yeah.
And I'll have that also with other people's music or with books. Like, I have a book by Henry Miller that when I was, late 20s, early 30s, that I read it I probably read it 25 times.
What was it?
Tropic of Capricorn.
Did you send that? I think you sent it to me. I think you mailed it to me, like, this is the most important book at the time. And I read it, and I read not even a full chapter, and I just thought, I can't read this.
Well, the first time I read it, I was very like, oh God, this is like too negative.
Yes.
And then at the end there was a moment where I'm like, oh, you know what I mean?
Wow, I should have continued.
And then
mailed too soon.
And then like a couple years later, like my life was falling apart, and I remember I was in love with this black girl from Connecticut, and one morning I just drive up, people are waiting for me at another appointment, I drive up and knock on her door. So we're out there and suddenly I'm like, I don't know what we're talking about, I have an urge to read this book again. And I read it, and it was like my Bible for a few years. It really affected me, and that I'll go back and read and be like, oh yeah, I remember who I was at that time, you know.
Tropic of Cancer.
Capricorn.
Tropic of Capricorn.
Oh, that Cancer's good too, but Capricorn is more... I once had to describe to somebody, it's like somebody takes your head and puts your face in the mud and asks you to see God. Mm-hmm. You know, that's like... But anyways, I want to ask you, the most recent, I guess, series you were doing, was it like Frankenstein? I didn't get to watch any of it, or... the video.
Oh, the Frankenstein videos were something that we taped that like back in 1995.
Wow.
Yeah. Me and my wife were still drinking heavily and partying with our neighborhood. We moved into a neighborhood because we were going there every weekend for a party, right? So
I didn't know you were like a serious drinker at any time.
Yeah, I was, and it was. I wasn't really. I was never a great drinker. I could I could have 3 beers and get beer muscles, and then I get myself in trouble. So I wouldn't drink a lot, but I drank every weekend because my wife really loved to drink. And she doesn't drink anymore for 20 years, but back in the day we had some crazy times, and during those times was whenever we decided to make this movie, and it was just shot on like the old non-digital 8mm Sony cams.
Yeah.
The final product was just a half-hour story about this young man who wanted to create a wife. And so he went to the cemetery and dug up a dead girl and turned her into his wife, but she wasn't interested in him.
That's the way it goes.
And the neighbor, yeah, this is my life, really. And then the neighbors found out that there was a monster in the neighborhood, and that was part of the home. What do you call those home associations?
Uh-oh.
No monsters in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they beat the crap out of me with 2x4s.
It
And
must have been fun to film.
the sexy nurse, played by our friend Dixie, was actually in love with me, and then I'm dead, and so her and the female Frankenstein monster got married and drive off into the sunset.
Sounds like fun. Now, one more thing. Could you say a little bit about the band you're in now and kind of what you're doing, where you're playing?
Yeah, the band I'm in now is called Area 38, and just for those who don't know, Area 38 is approximately here in the brain. And I think it's the part of the brain. Joyce, our keyboard player in the band, is a neuroscientist. She's a PhD in brain. She teaches brain stuff. I don't know, it's way above me. But she's the one who came up with the idea. I think it's the part of the brain that is activated by creativity or
That's cool.
harmony or something like that. Anyhow, it's all original music. Judd Mance writes great songs that I really like and want to play, which is a plus for me, And then he likes my songs and wants to play them, which is, great for me. So, yeah.
So say you're learning his song. Is he the boss of that song?
Yeah.
And you're the boss of your song?
Yes, and it's pretty much that way, yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with Brian. And cool. And where do you guys play at a lot?
We play, because there's still not a lot of places to play original music. I mean, we play no covers whatsoever, so we just refuse to, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And I go back and forth on that, because I go out and I see all these really good musicians, and they're playing 3 nights a week because they're playing covers and sneaking their originals in. And I keep sitting down and working up a solo act.
Yeah.
And I get to the point where I'm going to go and I'm going to get a gig, and then I just back out. I just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially at this point in life.
Yeah.
Why bother?
Right.
Okay, let's move on. We're going to watch, this artist's name is Anno. Now, this, all this new music I'm listening to, almost none of it is American.
Mm-hmm.
And American music really doesn't speak to me anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to music from Japan, Vietnam, Siberia, Mexico, and Australia. But I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's like this big movement of female rockers from Japan. And the best of it is incredible, like extremely creative. It's pop with a little punk like a punk attitude underneath it.
Yeah.
And this artist's name is Anno, and I love her. and her story is, she was like a little bit in the spectrum probably.
Mm-hmm.
And so she couldn't communicate right, and
Excuse me, does Susquehanna like Anno?
Yeah, but Dad, can I borrow your phone?
you can find it. I don't know where it
Man.
is.
Wow, I knew she was pacing. I knew she needed something bad.
It's always a phone.
Do you remember me, Susquehanna? I met you when you were very young.
I don't know.
No, probably not. Okay.
Need some,
Sorry.
all this like recording studios, film sets, is like boring. Dad's not cool. He's embarrassing.
Can you imagine, though, one day it's going to be something cool?
Yeah. She's got her own creative interests, but
Okay, back to Anna.
Anna, yeah. She was on the spectrum. She couldn't communicate right. And it's not, people speculate she was on the spectrum. It's not, she's not.
Okay, she hasn't been diagnosed.
Not that I know of.
Right.
But so she got bullied by not only the students, but also the teachers. She'd go to the school and just sit in the hallway and cry.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as she got into high school, she just quit and became a recluse in her room. When she was old enough to get a job, she couldn't hold a job because of her communication skills. So,
Where's she from?
Japan. I don't know what city. But then she sees a thing on Instagram to try out for an idol group. You know what that is? And so she has an audition. She decides not to go because she assumes they'll reject her, like always. But the manager calls her and says, why don't you just come see the show? So she comes see the show and, decides to join. And it's an idol group. It's not great. A little bit amusing, but it's not great. After 6 years, she must have been still young because she's still only like 27.
Wow.
But then she could go solo. And this stuff, I love it. It's like so creative, the lyrics. And she doesn't write all of her stuff, but she writes lyrics and plays guitar and then, they turn it into like these crazy things. But what else about her? Well,
is she big in her country?
She's fairly big, yeah. And I'm trying to like psych myself into money falling out of the sky to go to Japan, Vietnam, and Siberia.
She never came to the.
She's only been in America once for one gig, but I don't see any sign of her coming. I really want to see her. But I got into her. Susquehanna went through her phase where she would wear cat ears and a little tail,
I remember that, actually.
Yeah. And so I'm watching this video. It's a live video of this artist. And at first I noticed she dresses like Susquehanna did at that time. Now, I mean, not just the cat ears, but like baggy pants. And it's just, lyrics are like, people think I'm retarded because I dress like a cat. And then the chorus, the song is called Cat Puke Paradise Cheerleader. And the chorus is, meow, meow, vomit, the best entertainment ever. So I'm like, Susquehanna, get in here, you gotta see this. Yeah. And I started like digging deep into her and like just falling in love with everything. And, in Japan they have a word kawaii.
Kawaii.
Yeah, and baby metal, if you know them, they invented kawaii metal, which is a whole genre now.
Okay.
But most people translate kawaii as cute, but what it really means is cute in an endearing way. So it's not like, oh, she's cute. It's like, I love it. And that's how I feel to her. I'm like, she had this childhood, and now she's a hero.
Yeah.
And she's living a great life. And I'm just like, you did it, Anna.
That's very cool.
But now she's singing on a show called First Take. It's a Japanese YouTube show done by Sony. And the artists come on and they have one take to form their song. And so you either get it right or you don't.
How is she backed up?
There's musicians in the...
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And she at one point she did start a band, like a rock band separate from her solo career, called The Eyes. Not like the eye, just like the letter I.
Okay.
But anyways, you know what? Actually, before we watch the video, I want to watch the pop stars in Japan do a lot of television and movies. And they have this show I love over there where the pop stars, they sit at school desks and there's a host. And they'll have like scenarios like, okay, you've got to go to a movie theater. And this is staged, but you have to go to a movie theater in English and order 2 tickets, 2 adult tickets, and 1 child ticket. And the results of this are hilarious. And so first I'll show you a little edit of one of those.
Her task is to buy movie tickets.
What can I do for you today?
She needs to buy tickets for 2 adults and 1 child.
Big mom to ticket.
Big man, 2 man.
She's getting close.
Children.
How many children?
Big mom, big mom, egg.
But humans don't lay eggs.
What time would you like to see the movie?
The movie starts at 2 p.m.
After 2 minutes.
After 2 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Goodbye. Goodbye. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I don't understand.
She laughed at herself
なんでわかんないの
and decided to go home.
帰る
She blames the man for not understanding.
やっぱ心だから
Is she already famous at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But what a culture. It's so different.
They are. I mean, like I've seen some of their game shows. They're brutal. They're
Crazy.
beautiful.
There used to be one that was you'd have to drink a bunch of water. This is outdoors in the winter, and you'd have to sit in a pool of ice water and not pee.
Oh,
So the winner there'd be a bunch of them. Whoever managed to not pee the last wins.
wow. Yeah.
So this is Anno. I want to make sure there are lyrics up on it.
Is it in English or not?
No, but I'm hoping there's going to be subtitles.
I like her boobs.
Yeah.
How old is she? She looks really
Only
young.
26 here.
Wow. She looks like
やり
15.
ますかはい
Like the song already.
我愛你酔いが覚めない All I need 恋が覚めない All I need その生まれ果てさしてもうまた破滅してみて本人たいトラウマの味も反対お手を添いでハイハウス喉の奥がチコチコ
I like her right away, I love it whenever the melody of the song cuts across the chord progression in a way that just, I don't know, it's like, it's not sing-songy.
Yeah, it's
And-
kind of floating.
Yeah.
like disconnected.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's go.
ちょうどみんなのまでチューしようそしてゲゲゲロゲゲゲロゲロチューゲゲゲロゲゲゲゲロチュー熱くなるゲロと愛に溢れた気持ちがたまらないですゲゲゲロゲゲゲロゲロチューゲゲゲロゲゲゲゲロチュー
I
ゲ
get
ロ
why
ゲ
that's
ロ
catchy, and I get
愛
why, and I get why you like it, but do you feel weird that you like it, saying it out loud? Does it make you kind of at all uncomfortable? And the reason I'm asking you that is that I just discovered a female singer from, she's Norwegian, I think, called Aurora. Are you familiar?
I've heard the name. I haven't heard her yet.
She did Life on Mars, and then she writes some really cool shit. And she's like almost 30, but she looks like she's 20. You know?
Well, I have an army of online haters
Yeah, of course you do.
who call me a pedophile for this. My
Oh.
first question is, do you only listen to music by people you want to have sex with?
Yeah.
But number two is, everything's about sex in American culture.
Yeah.
Why isn't there any thought about paternalism?
Right.
Which is what I'm feeling like.
Yeah.
I love this little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in her corner. Same with Baby Metal. When I first got into them, they were 14 and 16. I've seen them grow up for 12 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and they're big around the world. They're huge.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, go, you guys did it. And you were so great. So
Yeah.
talented.
So you're just like a fan.
Yeah.
But again, just taking the whole perverted sex thing out of it, it still feels a little weird, doesn't it? It does to me. I think
It doesn't to me because
Good.
And like her and Baby Metal, none of the ones are into present themselves sexually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hate American, like all the R&B chicks. It's like a burlesque
yeah.
show, and
I
I'm
know.
just zero interest in that. And I can get into princes, dancers. I can get into sexy music, but because of my music,
Right.
But it's so refreshing that they're not
Yeah.
burlesque performers.
I know, because everything in American society is that. I mean, just go on YouTube and it's always like the bass player, the female bass player who's in her teenage years,
Yeah.
and there's, and it's always the camera shot is on the cleavage.
Yeah.
Even though she's a phenomenal bass player, just cover,
Yeah.
just cover up and play the damn thing. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Without that.
I have a theory that repression creates obsession, and that's what we have in America. We're actually sexually repressed, so
Yeah.
we're obsessed with titillation.
Yeah.
And that's a Zappa theory, the titillation part. It's like, you don't see sex on American TV, you see titillation. And this guy, I can't remember his name, a French philosopher, wrote a book claiming that you have to have the repression because capitalism depends on the titillation. And
Yeah.
seems kind of true to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like why all the Republicans are, homophobic, and then they're always the ones that are the closet homosexuals.
Absolutely, absolutely. But back to Anna.
Not always, but mostly.
勝負はいつもダンチンカン僕に言わせろチンポンカン踏んだ最後はラウンドもう何回やられればいい終わらない忘れられない合わないでときめき変愛よし喉の奥が違う僕はどこどこ心臓ごと引きずり出した店でよ気持ちいいね面倒くさいけど
But it's if you read the lyrics, it's a very interesting take on romance. Like,
I haven't been reading,
Yeah,
actually.
right.
That's weird. I've been
it's
listening to the...
it's embarrassing the way I feel. It's wonderful, but it's troubling. You know what I mean? It's like a very
cool.
unusual take.
照れくさいけど死ぬまで忘れられないジュースや行かれた街はゾンビで溢れる君は僕に恋したらときめくも何
Stuff there. I don't know if you caught it, or one of her dangly earring type things falls off, and they caught it as it hits the ground.
ゾンビで溢れる君は僕に恋したらときめく胸に繋がるロープ引きのよ行くよペペペロペペペロペロチューペペペロペペペペロチュー街で震える可愛いの
Let me make sure I understand this. She came out and they just kind of roughed through the song really quick before what kind of preparation was there? Do you know?
No, but I know once they record, when they turn on the camera, it's one take.
Oh, okay.
That's like the whole premise of the show.
You don't get to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
美しいでしょケケケロケケケロケロチュケケケロケケケケロチュ背のポンチがを愛にケケケロチュ腹根を愛にもう満杯ケケケロチュ
See, she's just a sweetie.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Yeah. And she's like just very, very seriously singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not it's not a game. She's really taking it.
Since you let me show you, I wasn't planning on this, but this is the actual music video for this. Now, I watched it a couple times, and then I suddenly started seeing what was going on, and at first I was like, what the fuck? And then the ending, once I figured out what was going on, it was just like, blew my mind.
Oh, okay.
So,
Will I get it? I probably won't.
watch out for the chainsaws.
Okay.
isn't a mess.
行くよペペペロペペペロペロチューペペペロペペペロペペペロチュー街がさられるくらいの美しさだ美しい風車ケケケロケケケロケロチューケケケロケケケロチューせーのポンチタン終わないゲロゲロゲロチューほらでも愛にもう満タイゲゲゲロチュー
But she on his own space.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's way out there.
Yeah, that is cool.
Apparently that song was used on an anime called Chainsaw Man. I haven't seen it, but I think the guy has a chainsaw growing out of his head.
Okay.
And there's a episode where to save somebody, a girl has to vomit in somebody else's mouth. So.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, is any thought on all this?
I kind of dig it, you know. It's because it's different.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you know, you just don't. This is what I like about other cultures. You
Yeah.
know, it gives you a different perspective
Yeah.
on stuff.
And even like their use of language, and they say so many things that you would never hear. Like, there's one song, it's a Vietnamese song, and they say, I'm going to go to the fortune teller to find out when we'll get married and have many babies. I'm like, can you imagine Sabrina Carpenter or whoever having that lyric in their song?
Right.
It's, so completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's interesting. And you're right. American music is generally, to me, not interesting anymore.
Yeah. Seems like it came off the Ford assembly line, like a production.
Yeah.
And that's one thing you hear, like as an ex-drummer, like you can hear the hi-hat go, you know what I mean, when you lift it?
Yeah.
And the drums sound like real, you know what I mean? It's so raw in a way.
Yeah.
And she has one video, and you know, she's this like cute little girl, and she's like running on a track thing. But these little animations keep coming down with these middle fingers, you know. And I'm like, what's going on here? And by then, they're like everywhere.
I don't know. It just seemed appropriate to her at the time.
Yeah, she got like a little bit of a rebellion in her, though. And,
Yeah.
very, very interesting artist.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining Ed and I.
Thanks.
And if you have any insights or ideas or another song you want me to react to, please let us know in the comments below. Hope to see you again.